Welcome back to Cross-Threaded, your wide open moto podcast. And this week we are back to recap Arlington Supercross, one of the best 450 main events in quite some time. And we even had two brand new winners for each class. With me, joining me, my co-host, we were there live at Arlington, starting off with James. Welcome back, James.
What's going on? Arlington was a great time.
Seems like forever ago. It doesn't seem
I
like it
know,
was
it doesn't.
literally just
It
this
was
past week.
Yeah,
less than
I
a
just
week ago, dude. It feels like it was a month ago.
Yeah.
it's only a couple
And
days
then
ago.
Yeah.
Justin, fresh off his Texas adventure. He got a little bit of a taste of everything. Welcome back, Justin.
Hell yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, what a good trip. Like James said, it does feel like forever, but literally it was only 3 days ago I left.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, what a great night of racing in both classes.
Yeah. Well, before we get into the Arlington, let's talk about the developing stories right now. Really, the only thing that I have right now is just that Prado remains out. He's still going to be out heading into Daytona. Obviously, he was out this past week, but Justin, I mean, I don't know where do you anticipate, Prado returning, or should he return?
I mean, I think he's definitely going to return. Was this now 2 weeks he's been off?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think they said a couple weeks anyways. So I'm sure we'll see him within the next few weeks. I don't see why they would sit him out the rest of the year. I mean, he's been riding pretty good, so why not have him go back out there?
Yeah, but James, to me, I mean, we're approaching the halfway point here. The tracks are only going to get gnarlier, which he crashed at one of the gnarlier tracks. Seattle would have been interesting to see how he does in Texas. But to be honest, I feel like he kind of proved his point with Supercross, made the improvement. I mean, if I'm Prado, he knows he's not in the title fight. So what? Maybe he battled for a fifth or sixth overall. But I mean, shit, if he's got a shoulder injury, I mean, why not just kind of wait it out and just be ready for Paula?
Yeah, I could see it on both ends, but I kind of agree with Justin on this. I wouldn't see a reason for him not to come back. He rode, like Justin said, he rode pretty well. But we'll see. I mean, I feel like if he was gonna be out, he would have just announced already, not be like week by week, like, oh, Prado's sitting out again another week. I feel like they would have been like, whatever, he's done till outdoor at this point.
I think
Yeah,
also
very
too
true.
with it is he's never raced really the East Coast tracks, so he needs
Yeah.
that experience. So even if he's out of
Yeah.
the title fight, he just needs to show up and learn what he's gonna have to expect next year if he is in a title fight or anything like that. So it's all really learning no matter what.
I will say it will be interesting to see how he bounces back after this injury. Obviously, I think his eyes are definitely on outdoors. He wants to go out there and win motos. So I wouldn't be surprised that maybe Prado comes out just a little bit more cautious. I think the last couple rounds, he got confidence and kind of maybe got a little bit cocky, kind of sending everything and, ended up biting him. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if when Prado returns, maybe we don't see that same fire that we saw at the beginning of the season. What do you think, James?
Yeah, I think he'll be definitely a little more reserved, especially now that he's not really fighting for any title contention. And as everybody knows, he does shine a little more outdoors. So I bet when he does come back, he'll kind of just go through the motions and then hopefully, maybe, or not hopefully, but maybe find that confidence again once he gets the outdoor a little more his style of riding.
Yeah, Justin, what about you? You think we're going to see the same Prado we saw at A1 getting the podium, or do you think he's going to maybe back off a little bit?
I don't know about podium level, especially with all these guys just ramping up and continuing to race. I mean, that's a lot to miss out on, even if it's a couple weeks, losing that intensity and that race pace. But I mean, Daytona is kind of the track, I think that would be one that he would win, possibly if he's gonna win, because with it being this hybrid outdoor kind of track, it's gonna suit
Yeah.
him more than anything. So yeah, it's kind of interesting he didn't come back this week, but I mean, it must still be bothering him.
Yeah. Yeah, shoulders are definitely an issue with moto, that's for sure. All right. Well, any other stories that you guys heard about in the moto community before we jump into this Arlington track?
Don't even
Lachlan
fucking say it.
Turner.
Don't even fucking say it.
Lala Turner going with the Blue Crew to Australia. Justin's favorite. I thought he was going to report on it.
Yeah, no, if I report on it, we might have to listen to her talk about it on the fucking broadcast, and anything we can do to have that not happen.
Yeah.
Hey, we saw Eric's girl Stallings freaking on the broadcast and on the
Oh
podium.
yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
look,
well, I
he's
think
even
as
wearing
you,
he's wearing her brand too right now with that jacket he's got.
this is not her brand. This is not her brand. But yeah, big news for Lala Turner, Justin. Congratulations. You get to keep her as a Blue Crew fan, so you'll continue to listen to her
I
interviews
mean,
and listen to them as you fall asleep every night.
yeah, I mean she's sick on a bike, but just try to keep a microphone away from her. Maybe she needs a translator or something.
Yeah, right.
Sign
Um,
language interpreter.
all right, let's jump into this Arlington track. I mean, to be completely honest, James got us some fire seats. I think we had the best view that you could really possibly ask for right there at the end of the whoop section, which ended up being, a big factor for this race. We obviously had the quad there as well that we saw most guys hit. But Justin, we'll start off with you. I mean, what surprised you about this track? What'd you like about this track? And yeah, just overall thoughts on that Texas red dirt.
I mean, the dirt's just magical. I mean, that dirt just looks so good. But yeah, I think the track was awesome. I think there's a lot of passing opportunities. It got rough. A lot of people were talking about it being slick, but I mean, it was a sick track, very different lines. You didn't have to hit the quad to be fast. Like Pierce was the proving that pretty much. And then if you could skim the whoops, it was a big difference. And I mean, during qualifying, we were all screaming. I mean, people were going down left and
Yeah.
right, dude. It was
Oh yeah.
fucking everyone.
450C was hilarious, dude.
Yeah, dude. Everyone's looking back at us, and we're all like, "Oh!" People are just going down left and right. So, I mean, we had a great spot. I mean, even throughout the night, even the night shows, the LCQs, people were going over the bars. I mean,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it was a shit show all
It
around.
was hard to keep track because you had what, three lanes right there in front of you
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
and
where
people were
guys
where
could
they
go
going
were
down
down
actually
every.
anywhere.
at.
Yeah, people were going down every lane, and then we have red flags. We got a dude doing a fucking Cody Webb fucking plant and fucking 180 on the back of the finish line, and
Yeah.
we got Joe just rolling out of nowhere. And I mean, we'll talk about that later, but I mean, yeah, dude, it was perfect spot. Good choice, James.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And then
Maybe not the
James.
parking spot. That wasn't the
No,
best,
that was Jordan.
but
That was Jordan. That was Jordan.
Well, James, then over to you. I mean, this track really, really favored those that could just put in consistent lap after lap after lap because there's a lot of errors out there. We'll talk about how the results got there. But yeah, your overall opinion of this Texas track.
I loved it, man. It was a great track. Going from that triple to the whoops was definitely a great addition to it. Kind of like Justin said, there was different lines, whether you're going to go quad over or 3-3, all different kinds of lines people were doing and still staying fast. Some people skimming, some people jumping the whoops. Like Justin said, it got rough and entertaining for us being there in person. So I was a fan of the track overall. Usually, sometimes they get stuck in these football stadium style tracks where it's kind of just
Mhm.
repetitive, but this week I thought was really good.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, obviously had the right hand start as well. That's a little bit different. It had that flat sweeper before the finish line, which caused some controversy. But even on the opposite side of the stadium where they were going, table to table or table over table, that was pretty cool because the inside made it look like it could work, but it really just kind of put your fender for the other guy and see if you could force them to make a mistake.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it got rutted, but it wasn't crazy rutted like we see in Indy, where these guys are basically, doing slot cross. I mean, they could really kind of use the track however they wanted, but it was definitely challenging. All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into this 250 class. Pierce Brown ends up being the fastest qualifier, which Justin, you kind of touched up on it. He didn't touch that quad all day, it sounds like, according from his Pulp MX interview. So he never touched it. He still ended up being fastest. Davies and Hammaker ended up winning their heat, so that was a great start off for them. But I mean, I don't know about you guys, but to me, it was no surprise that Pierce Brown got the win. I was all
oh,
over
I
it come
bet. Oh yeah,
Tuesday.
I bet.
I was on a technicality.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll start off. Pierce Brown, he ends up getting the win. Now, I mean, we'll jump right into the issue with Shimoda and the lead-in lights that were new, but there was no red cross flag. I mean, he really kind of got screwed. Really just in general. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I think what was it? I think Pierce Brown ended up leading like the last 13 minutes of the race. I mean, Joe had plenty of time to make a pass, and he tried to
Yeah.
force some, but he really couldn't get it done. So, I mean, I don't know, James, how much do you take away from Pierce Brown committing the Shimoda thing, or do you think Pierce really kind of went out and earned it?
I don't know. Joe had what, like a 3-second lead over him when that
About that, yeah.
red
Yeah.
flag thing happened. Joe was on rails prior to that. He was on it, dude. He got the whole shot. He was looking good. I think it would have been a different race if that didn't all go down. Obviously, like you kind of mentioned, Eric, Joe definitely had some opportunities to get a wheel on him. As we saw, they battled back and forth quite a bit and lost a little bit of steam in the last 2 minutes, 2 laps, something like that. But I think that red flag deal kind of shuffled things up, and I'm not sure if Shimoda would have lost us that race if that didn't happen.
Now, Justin, are you surprised that Shimoda wasn't able to get around Pierce? I mean, sure, Pierce has speed, but once again, this is Pierce's first Supercross, race win. But Shimoda's also coming off of that injury. He didn't look good in qualifying all day, but I don't know. Is part of you surprised that Shimoda couldn't get around Pierce Brown and that he held him off that whole time without neither one of them hitting the ground?
I mean, I think for Shimoda, I mean, the confusion and, probably getting pissed off. I mean, it was almost a 4 second swing with that. And, he probably was like, all right, cool. I got 4 seconds. Everyone else is going to roll this cool. And then all of a sudden he looks up and Pierce is jumping over him. Bennick's almost around him, and probably put him in a panic. And then also he's only rode 6 days of Supercross. Brown's had a full, prep. So I think for Shimoda, although he didn't get around Brown, I mean, just for him to be in that top three, and finishing second is a great accomplishment as itself. I mean, like you said, qualifying he was 15th. We're like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? I mean, it was
Yep.
almost like,
Yeah.
is he even in a top 10? I mean, was almost what we were thinking in qualifying the way he was looking. So I mean, it's just a huge step. I mean, showing up at the first round of 250 East and, salvaging a second and keeping your chances for the title hunt, and he's just going to get better.
Yeah, I mean, you think about everything pretty much went perfect for Shimoda. He ended up getting the whole shot, kind of checking out early. Would have been interesting if he had to come through the pack. But not only that, I mean, there was a star Yamaha pileup in the very first turn with Davies going down, Thrasher going down, Dudney, who knows what factor he would have played in. But I mean, he had some pretty elite competitors go down, right out of the gate. But yeah, I would say Shimoda definitely looked ahead of schedule, come the main event time. But we'll kind of jump into it. Cole Davies ends up getting a fifth, but I don't know about you guys, but to me, Cole Davies definitely seems like he is the definite favorite when it comes to this 250 East time. I mean, just looks significantly faster than all these guys, Justin.
Yeah, I mean, Davies, I mean, I think he only finished 13 seconds back of the leaders. And I mean, for him to be down in the first corner and that far back and him to move that much through the pack and get up to there, I mean, you give this another 5 minutes, Davies might be up on Pearson Shimoda, and he could be competing for the win. So, I mean, bonehead, young mistake, for him crashing. I think the right hand turn
Hmm.
also played into it, not being able to get that back brake, as much as they normally would if they're going left. But I mean, I guess he's just lucky he didn't get it hurt and salvaged the fifth. But yeah, he's a clear favorite, and his whip speed is insane.
Yeah, dude.
Now, James, the one thing that I will say that, does concern me about Davies is that he is still, this is only his second year with a lot of speed. Like Justin said, this was kind of a bonehead move on the start. I mean, it was honestly really kind of his fault that it all happened. So part of me is worried that maybe we might see some more mistakes from Davies, really riding and pushing that edge to where, I don't know, he might end up costing himself this title versus just getting beat out for it.
Yeah, I could see that. He's definitely fast, and like Justin said, his whoop speed is next level. I think he was the first to do the quad at Arlington too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
third lap.
So yeah, he's got the speed, but like you said, Eric, with it, he's young. It's his second year. I definitely foresee a few more mistakes happening. But I don't think it's going to be enough to cost him a title. I think he'll gather it all in. He rode real good at the end of last season. So I think he'll dial it all in, and I think he's still the clear favorite despite a few more mistakes.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see him put a race together, start to finish, and see what that looks like. He definitely's got the whoop speed, way better than Deegan, look. But I think Deegan's pretty damn fast just about everywhere, especially if he's getting those starts. So that's going to be a great matchup that we're going to look forward to.
Oh, East Coast
Davies,
showdowns.
yeah, Davies' whip speed. I mean, he was the fastest person out of 450 and 250,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
he set the fastest whip that section or whatever on lap 14. So it's not like
yeah,
it was a fresh
Oh
track. I
yeah.
mean, lap 14 was his fastest sector through that whip section, which I can't believe.
Yeah,
yeah.
they were getting pretty worn out by then.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, you could tell that if you continue to blitz him throughout the night, it was beneficial. I mean, Pierce Brown blitzed him all night long when Shimoda started jumping him. We'll talk about the impact of having the 450 class too. But yeah, I mean, if you had the balls to blitz him every lap, I mean, you're going to make up a lot of time. And there's clips all over the place of Cole Davies passing guys through the whoops like they're standing still. All right. The next thing I have in here is Daxton Bennick. I mean, this is the third year straight that he's been a podium in the opening round. But James, we'll start off with you. I mean, he was right behind Shimoda the entire time. Like they never dropped him. He was, always within, I think, a second and a half, 2 seconds. So there was a lot of hype with Bennick heading into it. But is Bennick for real, or are we going to see more of like a Ryder D fall off? Because I mean, I could see it go either way.
I'm kind of thinking the latter rider D fall off a little bit. He got a good start this week and he had a great race. He was right on Shimoda's ass the entire time, which just shows some speed. But like you kind of mentioned earlier, Eric, Thrasher was down, Hamrick was down first turn,
Hmm.
and had no one to really other to battle. Although Shimoda did look fast. But I don't know if he'll be a consistent. I could see a few more podiums out of him, but I'm thinking a similar ride to Ryder D. He'll kind of float around that fifth area.
Yeah, and Justin, honestly, this is pretty similar to A1. I mean, you think about Cole Davies had to make his way up through the field. Deegan had to do the same thing at A1, which gave, obviously Ryder D, that bump. I think Hymas ended up getting second. Chiboda got second.
Yeah,
And
Pierce
Yeah.
and
then
Anstey,
Anstey ends up winning, and then Pierce Brown ends up winning. So it's
And then Ryder D and
literally
Bennick.
literally identical to how A1 went. But where do you fall as far as Bennett goes? Do you think he's going to be a consistent podium guy, or do you also think he's going to take a step back?
I mean, history says he takes a step back. I think you're hoping he stays consistent up there, but I think this field's just too stacked that I don't think he's going to be able to. You got Pierce, Shimoda, Hammaker, Davies. That's your top four guys right there. Those are all champs right there, or could be champs. So it's a tough class, and you always got Thrasher that can be thrown up in there.
Yeah.
You never know what Cody Shock. If he gets a good start, he can run up there a little bit. Jalik Swoll, you never know. He killed himself
Yeah.
in the whoops, but he's shown to be a podium guy as well too. So yeah, I think he's ultimately going to fall back to that 5 to 7 range.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I mean, there's been a lot of rumors that, he was flying at the test track, but out of the top five, he had the second slowest lap time behind Pierce Brown. All the other guys were in the 49.5 range. So he's definitely got to find a little bit more speed here. And the last topic that I have here before we get into what you guys have is I just put in, Dudney, his debut. I know there are some skeptics heading into it, but I mean, he looked great right out of qualifying. Obviously, he's in the first one, so the track was mint. But I mean, even his heat race looks good. His main event, I mean, he worked his way up to 13th from dead last, so pretty impressive. But Justin, we'll start off with you. I mean, I don't know, what do you take away from Dudney's debut?
If he can do it again this week, is he the real deal? He's 16 years old. And he just came out there and flat out showed the boys, like, I ain't scared to, hit the jumps and do this, and I'll hang in there and battle with you guys. He stayed up there in his heat, like you said, and then for him to claw back to 13th, in the main event, no matter what, if you're a rookie or not, sometimes that's all Levi Kitchen can do. So if you're kind of on that pace, that's good for your first overall Supercross. But yeah, he could be deadly. He was blitzing those whoops really good too. So he may be another whoop guy.
Yeah, and he was impressive in that outdoor race that he did and heading straight into Daytona. I mean, we
Hmm.
we might see him top five, this week. And if he gets a good start and stays out of the carnage, the kid definitely has the raw speed, and Daytona's kind of tailor made for that. James, how about you? What'd you think of Dudney's debut?
I think he looked good, dude. Fourth in qualifying and then fourth in his heat race is a super solid start. He fought back and to get into 13th in the main. I think it's super solid, for first race out of Futures. He shows that he has the speed in both qualifying and in the heat race. So yeah, I'm looking forward to what he can do at Daytona with how he did at what was it, Unadilla last year? I think got like
I
Yeah.
think
I
so.
think 10th overall, and I think he had a
Hmm.
seventh mixed in there. So could be show this week could be a little more catered towards outdoor skill set. So yeah, I could see him top five.
Yeah. And then looking at the Club MX boys, honestly, it's also kind of familiar to the West Coast. They finished 7-8, basically the
Yeah.
first group behind all the factory guys. And I know I talked about it heading into it. I wasn't really high on Cody Schock getting up to a podium. Justin, I think you said you think it could definitely be in the cards, but I don't
Yeah,
know. Looking at
possibly.
this 250 East team, do you think that's still realistic for Cody Schock?
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be tough if he can. He's gonna have to get a start and fucking hold on. There's a lot of
Yeah,
good boys, or he's got to hope for some guys to get injured. Which I mean, history says people are gonna get hurt. So the
yeah,
question is how many. But I mean, it's hard to say that. I mean, 450, we always have people dropping out like flies. It's kind of already by now, and I mean, everyone's pretty much healthy. There's not
yeah.
really one getting hurt. I mean, Hampshire, Barsha, but I mean, I'm talking about title contenders. So, it'd be interesting, but yeah, I don't think he's going to get a podium if all these guys stay healthy,
Yeah,
unless it's
well,
a
and
mud
that's a good
race.
point. That's a good point about the 450s with those guys still being healthy. It kind of makes you wonder, with Jet being out, is it making these other guys basically kind of thinking more long term versus like, shit, I have to go chase down Jet and I have to up my level to go get him versus I feel like everyone now feels like it's a pretty level playing field that they could just kind of ride the race. They're not chasing someone like Jet and, making mistakes trying to hunt them down. Um, James, what about you? What else in this 250 East class stood out to you?
You already covered club guys. Dudney looked good. Jalek Swall can't keep it on two wheels. No
Yeah.
surprise there. John Short, Texas, 18th. That's the Texas boy. That's pretty cool.
You didn't have much to say to that.
I don't know. I just saw John Short's
I
name.
thought you were
He
going to
was
say a top
so
10, but
so
you're like,
We'll probably
actually,
see him
yeah.
you
at
got an
fucking. We'll
18?
probably see him at Swan this weekend.
That's what I was when he said that. I was like, "What is he gonna say?" I don't even see him, and I'm
Yeah.
looking down to 17th right now, and I was like, "John Short." I'm like, "What? Make the night show?"
We kind of hit. I guess Drew Adams, didn't
Yeah,
he rode pretty good, sixth. A lot of competition up there, but yeah, we kind of covered everything from my perspective for 250.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to see if Drew Adams is going to make any kind of leap. I mean, he really hasn't. I know he's young. He's had a lot of injuries, but
Yeah,
I feel like this season he's got to show that he can at
he's got to
least
show
get
that
on
he's
a
got some
podium,
speed.
something.
Yeah,
And, he's what is he, year two in Supercross? Easiest person
yeah,
to compare it to is Cole Davies, and look at what Cole Davies is doing.
yeah.
And
But
he
yeah,
Cole
did not
Davies is
have,
an
way
and
different
he's young
anomaly.
animal.
too.
Cole
Yeah,
Davies is an
so
anomaly. He's a special talent.
yeah, so very interesting there. Um, Colin Park with the ninth, that was solid. Kyle
Kyle
Peters,
Peters,
he comes out of
privateer bike.
nowhere. Yeah, he comes out of nowhere. Arena Cross, previous champ, gets out there with the top 10. So that was impressive. And yeah, we kind of touched up on really everything else. Jaleel Swole, rough night for sure. But all right, boys, let's get into the good, the bad, and the ugly for this 250 class. Justin, we'll start off with you. Who had the good performance of the night?
I mean, I think I'm gonna have to go Pierce Brown. I mean, your first win, I think you kind of automatically qualify for that. Good for him to get that. I mean, kind of was handed to him, with that whole incident with Shimoda, but I mean, he stayed consistent, and Shimoda had plenty of times to get around him, and he couldn't make it happen, and he held on there to get his first win, which I think it's a big redemption for, last year we thought, I mean, Pierce Brown was flying in that main event leading, and then we thought he was dead or something in
Yeah.
Tampa. So yeah, he's gonna get the good ride for the night.
Yeah, others believed more than some in Pierce Brown. So,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. I bet
James,
they
how
do.
about you?
I bet they do.
Who is your good performance of the night?
I'm going with Joe Shimoda, coming from his lackluster qualifying, and I don't remember where did he end up in the heat. I don't think it was anything special, was it?
I
I don't
don't
know. I
think
can
so. I
look.
think so.
I don't
Let's
remember
see.
him doing anything in the heat.
He was
But
second,
yeah.
but
Oh,
he
did
was
he?
six. Yeah, but he was 7 seconds back at Hammaker. I mean,
Oh,
Hammaker
that's
and
what it
Davies
was.
put a
Yeah.
whooping on everyone.
But yeah, so I mean, second in the heat, not 15th in qualifying, and not didn't really look great in the heat, and then coming out and getting the whole shot, leading most of that race and holding speed for that whole time to pull a second in the main, coming back from injury with such little time on the bike. I'm going with Joe Shimoda.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. No one quite knew what it was going to be coming into it. Sounds like from their interviews, they were hoping for just a top five and they were going to be happy. So, yeah, I mean, give it out to them. It's funny, you kind of touched up on Hammaker. We didn't really talk about Hammaker at all. So I don't
Hmm.
know if that kind of speaks volume to where we're not surprised that he got up fourth and he didn't make his way up to the pack. But yeah, I don't know. I thought we were all pretty high on him. We really haven't touched up on him, but who knows? Maybe he's in your bad or ugly performance. For me, my good. I'm not going to say Pierce Brown because I already knew that he was going to win anyways.
Oh my
So
God, dude. Kick this guy off
Uh,
his fucking high horse, dude. I'm gonna
dude,
request my $20 back, dude.
I'm
I'm
just not
fucking
giving you the $20.
Um, but I'm going to give it to Daxton Bennick. Sure, third year that he got the podium, but like I said, he was right on those guys' tails the entire race. I mean, Shimoda really couldn't back off because Bennick was right there. But part of me thinks that maybe Bennick did kind of, tone it down a little bit just to kind of survive and push through. So I'd be curious to see if he has a little bit more in that tank. But he looked good. He was with those boys the entire time. I think I even saw him sending the quad here and there as well.
Yeah, he
So
definitely was.
yeah. So he was ripping impressive. All right, James, who you got for the bad performance?
I'm going with Nate Thrasher. Fast guy, could be a top guy, and then gets a. I mean, he went down in the start, but then end up with an 11th. I heard Weege said, I don't know where I heard it the other day, but he said that in Nate Thrasher's first race of the season, he's never broken a top 10.
Really?
That's kind of a crazy stat. So this
I'm about
could
to
just
look
be
that
like a
up.
weird bad luck thing for him, but just kind of stayed in the mid pack and came out with an 11. So we'll see what he does next week. Maybe it's just he's got weird first race jitters or something.
He got eighth
Yeah,
last
so let's
year.
see. Yeah, he got eighth last year in his
Oh,
first
really?
race, and then
Maybe it was
Anaheim won before that. He got 21st.
Yeah, it looks like that's his only top 10 was last year, and that was in eight. So he's got one top 10 in like 5 years, 5 or 6 years.
okay.
So
So
Houston,
yeah,
Houston
still
in
not a good track
2023 was
record, but
15th. So yeah, no. Yeah, no, I like it. I'm with you. I picked Nate Thrasher as well. I mean, he's a race winner. He always seems to squeeze in one, but I mean, coming out with now, like I said, it wasn't his fault. His teammate kind of took him down, but
yeah.
I mean, 11th with Dudney in the same spot, getting up to 13th. I mean, you'd think Thrasher could at least get his way up to Colin Park. Maybe the club guys.
well,
So yeah,
especially with Thrasher was like only one rider behind Davies too. Like
yeah,
Thrasher wasn't that far
Yeah.
behind Davies when they got up, and Davies just took
yeah. He could
off.
have towed him the whole way up there, but yeah, he
Yeah.
definitely didn't have the pace. Justin, who do you have for the bad?
Bad. I'm gonna go Cole Davies. I mean,
Okay.
he had it all lined up. He's the. I mean, realistically, I think he was the fastest guy. I know Pierce got him, in qualifying, but I mean,
Yeah.
when it came to race time, Davies was just a whole nother animal. His whip speed was just outstanding. He was very smooth. Because if he doesn't make that mistake in that first corner, he's blowing by everyone and probably winning by 15, 20 seconds, in my opinion. Those guys up front, that top four, they just kind of stayed there, and the fact that Davies was down in that first corner and came back to only be 13 seconds back of the leader shows how much faster he was even going through the pack. So bad for him, to make that little bonehead mistake and run a little too deep. But I mean, it's still salvage mode, but he's got to get the bad.
Good. I'm glad you actually gave it to him because I was going to call you out and say if this was Deegan, you'd give him the bad performance. So to me, this is very similar. I think at Anaheim 1, I think we did give Deegan the bad performance because just like Cole Davies had a lot of hype coming in, and now it's only year two. But yeah, I'm with you, Justin. I mean, he was red hot all day long, looked great in his heat, won that, and then just kind of a bonehead move, right out of the gate. That's just something you can't really do if you're going to be chasing down titles. So I like it.
But still
All
salvage
right.
mode though if you're chasing titles to get to fifth though. So that's
Yeah.
what
No.
chance
Absolutely.
do. Chance make
Yep.
it work some one
You
way or
win on your
another.
worst nights.
Yeah.
All right. As far as the ugly, we kind of touched up on them. I put Jalik Swoll, just like what James said, right? This guy just can't stay off the ground. And here we are right back to it. He's on the ground again, gets a DNF, and the story continues. But that's all I got for Swoll. Maybe Malcolm got in his head for talking all this shit on that podium. James, what about you?
No, I'm right there with you, Eric. I kind of touched on it before what I thought about his performance. Gillette Swall just can't keep it on two wheels, dude. We've seen it before, and we're gonna see it again.
All right, Justin,
Jeez, I
trifecta
mean,
or what?
yeah, that's what I was gonna go. For actually, no, my ugly is gonna be Evan Ferry.
Oh yeah, didn't even make the night.
Evan
Didn't even make
Ferry
the
couldn't
main.
even
Oh
couldn't
yeah.
even make the main. I mean, what is he doing out there? He still can't hit the whoops. I
Yeah,
mean, those Phoenix Hondas actually had problems all night. Gavin Towers, I think, crashed 2 times in the whoops in one lap, I think. So
yeah,
yeah, I'm gonna just go Evan Ferry to mix it up, but I was gonna do Jaleek. So, but yeah, Evan Ferry, not good.
yeah. No, I mean he was someone that was bringing up right there with Deegan, and yeah, he just really hasn't been able to live up to much of anything. So I like it. All right, let's jump into this 450 class. Tomac ends up getting the fastest qualifier, steals it from Mookie. Roxon and Hunter win the heats, but it all comes down to the main event. Hunter ends up getting the win, his first Supercross win, so that we've been talking about for the longest time. And like we mentioned earlier, this track really benefited those that could put in consistent lap after lap, and that's exactly what Hunter has done really all season long. So James, I mean, we'll start off with you. I mean, we finally see Hunter get his win. He's been the most consistent. Let's be honest. Tomac got lucky with this start. If you go back and watch it, it was pretty bad, and how he came out of it was pretty impressive. But I don't know. I feel like Hunter is really kind of throwing his name into this title hunt with his consistency. And this was a straight up win. He beat all the top guys head to head, came through the pack a little bit, held off Tomac. So I don't know. What percentage are you going to give Hunter in this title fight? Because I think we all still feel Tomac is the overall favorite.
Yeah, man. Hunter is really showing, kind of everything that we all thought at the beginning of the season. He's been he had what, 4 or 5 seconds in a row now a
Yep.
win. So he's super consistent. He's definitely making a push and making a name for himself in this title fight. So percentage wise, 30%.
Wow, that's actually pretty low. It's lower than I was expecting. Justin, what about you? Where do you put Hunter's title chances right now after what you've seen?
I mean, it's hard to argue because how consistent he's been, but I'm gonna say 25%. I still think when it comes down to winning the title and in the 450 class, we still have a lot of races to go. We got 10 more races to go. Tomac and Webb, they've done it multiple times before. I still got Webb and Tomac over Hunter winning the title.
Even Webb, I don't think I have Webb over Hunter
I
at this
think,
point. I
I
mean,
mean,
what we've seen
where
Webb
Webb's at.
basically give up what 2 or 3 race wins already of him
Yeah, but
getting the
this
whole shot, leading most
he's
of it
never
and
this
giving it
good.
away.
He's never this good in the beginning of the year. Just wait till we get these coast rounds. He's just gonna start
Yeah, but
kicking
we
people's
usually don't
ass.
see him getting the whole shot, leading laps, and then getting passed. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
Yeah,
crazy
he
to
got
think, but he
punked
was
by
leading
Tomac
this
this
one.
week,
He was,
pushed him
yeah,
off the track.
yeah.
yeah.
So I mean, that's what's been surprising with me with Webb, and I have that note on here. It's just like Webb let another one get away from him versus if you give Tomac the whole shot, if you give honestly Kenny or Hunter the whole shot, 9 out of 10 times they're probably going to end up winning that race. If they don't crash. Webb's already
Yeah.
had 2 or 3 this year that nothing's gone wrong. That he just gone backwards and let these guys because I just don't think Webb has that send factor. I mean, we saw it in Seattle. He couldn't do the triple, onto the table that Tomac was doing, cost him there. This week, honestly, it was probably the whoops because Hunter was blitzing all night long, making up a lot of time.
Yeah.
So it just seems like Webb doesn't have that send it factor that these other title hunt guys do. But kind of circling back, I mean, to be honest, I'm giving it 60-40 to Tomac. And honestly, I would not be surprised if Hunter goes out and wins Daytona. We know how good he is outdoors, and this is kind of a
Yeah.
tailor-made track. Who knows what Tomac's going to look like on that KTM with this rough track? So I wouldn't be surprised if Hunter gets out there, or at the very least is on the podium based off of his SMX skills. His starts have been consistent, but I think we got to give Hunter just a little bit more respect. And plus, we all know what's happened the last 2 years with Tomac getting hurt late in the rounds. He's already hit the ground a couple of times
Yeah.
and we're not even halfway through. And his starts have been inconsistent. Whereas, I mean, in this title, it's all about the consistency. But that's where I put it. I still lean Tomac. Obviously, he's a shark. You got to lean his way. But I think Hunter's still going to be right there. And um, which kind of leads me into this red cross flag. I mean, honestly, really hurts Hunter because that's what a 5 point championship difference. That's 9 points instead of
Hmm.
four heading into this
Yeah.
weekend. But Justin, we'll start off with you. I mean, where do you stand with this whole red cross dilemma? To me, I think it's pretty blatantly obvious that penalty should have been dished out.
Yeah, yeah, 250, I think it's a malfunctioning problem and a fuck up, and I think it's just kind of shitty situation for Joe. But 450, like you said, it's pretty blatant and clear. Tomac and Roxon red flag was out on the lip. You need to roll that. Um, pretty much no matter what. I mean, it should have been a penalty. I mean, Jet got penalized at Ironman because he hit the gate. The gate fell forward. He completely came to a stop and still started like 38, and they still, docked him and everything. So,
Well, even
um,
last year, wasn't it last year where there was like a
St.
few
Louis 2 years
450 guys?
ago.
Yeah, Jet
Yeah.
that did the same thing. It was
Jet.
same thing, a flat corner, and he hit it.
Yeah.
Like, wasn't it at the checkered flag or something
It
like
was,
that
yeah, it
too?
was, it
Yeah.
was St. Louis. It's what got Tomac that win of that Triple Crown.
Yeah,
And that
yeah.
was
So
because Jet got docked like a lap or three positions or something like that, But yeah, I mean like kind of Pope was talking about. It's like Honda's being targeted. Honda's just surrounded by all this every single time a red flag hitting the gate or something. It's just around Honda, and these penalties around Honda. If Jet was doing that, I mean they probably penalize him, but yeah, I don't know. It should have been a penalty.
to me, the biggest thing that pisses me off about it is Hunter saw it and he rolled it. He rolled the finish line jump. So if I'm
Hmm.
Honda, like if he saw it and he rolled, then that gives
How
no
did
excuse to
nobody
the guys
else
that
see
were
it?
right behind
Yeah.
him.
Well, and then
So
those lead-in lights, like it just makes no sense. They're talking about how those lead-in lights technically don't mean anything. Well, if they
Unless the
technically,
flag is out.
unless the
Yeah. Why
flag
is
is
it?
yeah,
out, so does that mean every single like when there was a triple, does that mean those lights don't mean shit unless there's a flag out?
it's supposed to be different. There's
I mean,
supposed to be
supposed to
different
be,
lights
but
than what are on the triple, but they also, I guess, someone looked into rule book, and there's nothing in the rule book saying, "Hey, the leading lights need to be on with a flag." So,
hmm.
I mean, it was an epic fail, but I mean,
Bush
everyone's talked
League.
about the red cross flag has always been, don't jump, wheels on the ground, regardless if there's a light or not. The red cross flag was out. There's plenty of evidence showing that these guys, would have seen it. And actually, wasn't there a clip or something to where I thought Tomac kind of turned and looked behind him to see if Roxon and Webb hit it
It
too?
got. Yeah. I think
I
I
think
said that
so,
to you
yeah.
from the
But I
back.
think,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
I think it was pulled back though when Webb hit it because I think just after
Yeah,
rocks and the guy kind of pulls it, and I
It
think
looked like
it's
he pulled
it's
it back.
away
Yeah.
away for Webb. So, but I
yeah,
mean, still, I think that's the big separation between the 250 and 450 is the 450 there was a flag out.
yeah.
250 there wasn't, but I mean, you see red instantly, you think roll because with all how strict they've been on penalties lately. I mean, the last few years they've cracked down a lot on those penalties, even some of the little shit.
Yeah, and even kind of goes to that, like the 251 I'm not as whatever about because the two guys before him jumped it with the lights on. So I don't
Hmm.
know, maybe they knew
I
the
mean,
rules
the
going
whole
into it
class
that because they
did.
didn't see a flag, so that's just the one thing too is maybe Joe is just being overly cautious and that's what ended up
Hmm.
costing him. But I think for the 450s, I mean, there's really no excuse. Honda went out, with the press release said that they're going to investigate it more, which I don't really know what they could do.
Yeah, what are
But
you gonna do?
yeah,
Yeah.
but they talked
It's
about
over.
it, on the Pulp show. At the very least, they should have at least just dished out penalties for the Red Cross incident, and then they could always backpedal from there. But not issuing any penalty. I know they talked about it as well. Like, who knows? Maybe a guy was actually down, and what because there's no running lights, guys are just going to start sending cross flags now. Like the
Yeah,
whole
there's
I
got
thing
to
mean,
was
be a
just
little
it's
more
crazy.
clarification on whatever the hell's going on there.
what even
Yeah.
was the incident though that caused that Red Cross flag? Do you even know for 450?
Wasn't
I
there
don't know.
who got turned around and
No,
landed
that
That
was
was
on?
Mitchell
250.
Harrison, wasn't
That
it?
That
was
was
it was
250. Derek
250.
Kelly.
Oh,
Derek Kelly.
oh,
It
Derek
was
Kelly.
probably
Yeah.
Anderson. The guy was on the ground all night long.
2 weeks
Well,
in a
no,
row,
he
kicking
no,
that
he was
fucking thing
still
over.
kicking in the woods, dude. He wasn't
Yeah.
moving.
But no, yeah, I can't remember what ended up causing, that whole red flag, or even if it was supposed to be out there. But either way, if it was or wasn't, it was. And the rules are pretty clear there. Um, All right, I already touched up on Webb. Can't close. And the last thing I have here is Sexton outside the top five
Again.
again. His
Again, that's where
qualifying
that's
looked like
just,
he was going to have some life to him, but his starts are still terrible. And I don't know. The further we get into this, the chances of him getting another win to me are getting slimmer and slimmer by the week. We
every
talked about
week.
this
Yeah.
week. I don't understand what's just going to all of a sudden click because Tomac, Kenny, Hunter, Webb, they're all riding pretty damn good. And I don't know what happened at A2, but I don't know how that's going to change going forward, James.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Eric. It seems like Sexton's a fifth place guy now. Maybe Prado was on it. Maybe that Cowie does suck, but it's also Sexton being a head case. I don't know. With Hunter making this new push down, being consistent, like you said, Tomac's always in the running. Webb rocks, and I don't see Chase Sexton getting another win. It's with how he's been riding. I don't see him finding another gear and turning the season around.
Which is crazy to say because before we always thought Sexton always had a chance, and now like we don't even a podium kind of seems like a bit of a stretch as of late, and he's 27 points down. So honestly, John, I think his title hopes are already down the drain.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way those top four guys all go out and lose or lose that many points, unless there's like a mud or like it's '08 Daytona or something and everyone bike's stuck in the fucking mud and Sexton's the only one that survives.
Which we're supposed to have
um
weather this weekend. So
yeah, it looks like it's just supposed to rain a little
Well,
bit
Sexton
Friday
did
and
pretty
early
good in
Saturday
the Mutters
morning.
last year, if I recall
yeah,
Yeah,
correctly.
yeah, but who
yeah.
knows, AP will probably come out, in a fucking
True,
NASCAR or something
Daytona
and fucking, yeah.
for the
But
Greg
I mean,
Biffle.
yeah, I mean, I just think that's why I asked last week, like, does Chase Sexton get another win? Because, I mean, the way he was looking, I mean, it still looks that way. Like, like you said, I don't think he gets another win. But, I mean, you can't be surprised if he does go out there and, wins Daytona by 10 seconds. I mean, he's just so talented. You never know what he's going to do.
I still don't see that. Like, I'm not on the part of I don't think he's going to get another win because I think he does have the talent, and I still think he could. It wouldn't surprise me if he did, but I'm also not very confident that it's going to happen either. Like we used to.
Mhm.
I mean, with all these guys still being healthy at the top, I mean, he's got some talent up their head, and we talked about it last week or a week or so ago. How many points down out of this title is it going to come to where maybe he starts thinking, hey, let me just get a head start on outdoors and, kind of bail on the Supercross. But I
He's
mean, we'll
about
see. He
there.
signed with this team for the next 3 years, so he might as well just stick it out all 17 rounds and try to get this bike ready for next year because that's really all he can do as far as Supercross comes. All right. James, what else stood out to you with this 450 class?
Oh, let's see. The Mookie crashed again, didn't he?
Yeah,
Or
he
was
was
that?
right behind
Yeah.
Sexton the whole time,
Yeah,
too.
Mookie, another crash. Another guy that kind of has a problem keeping it on two wheels. It was just 3, 4 weeks in a row. Mookie's been on the
Yeah.
ground in some fashion, whether it's a heat race or qualifying or whatever. Um, Jordan Smith, 19th on that Triumph.
Rough debut.
Or
Rough
and,
look
and
for Jordan's.
Anderson 21st,
Oh
Marchbank's
yeah, well,
Well, that doesn't
22nd.
surprise me.
I'll get to that later.
The 21 and 21st plays. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about
J-
James? What about Christian Craig with a ninth getting that top 10?
Good for Christian Craig, dude. He didn't take out any of my contenders for fantasy. He didn't crash when I had him. I just didn't pick him this week. So,
Yep.
you do you, Christian
Uh,
Craig, but we still got beef.
Yeah. And then Justin, I mean, Savachi, he looked damn good in that heat race. I thought maybe he ended up might still to get the win. I think he was better looking good in the main, but I think he went down. But Savachi, I mean, he's been pretty consistent out there. But what else stood out to you?
yeah, I mean, I think I was definitely gonna say Savachi. He was up to sixth, and then he went down and was back in 10th and worked his way back up to seventh. I mean, I think if he didn't go down, he gets a top five. I definitely think Savachi was gonna get a fifth. I mean, he was blitzing the whoops all night. He was really quick.
Yeah.
Showed out in qualifying. I think AP another quiet eighth. I mean, I don't think
Yeah.
everyone's really talked about him. I think AP a top 10 guy is kind of where he's at no matter what. And he's just been kind of sneaking in there week after week. McElrath, shout out to him. I had him for Rocky Mountain 13th. I knew it was gonna be him. And then yeah, Jordan Smith, what a shit show of a fucking debut. These Triumph guys are having some bad fucking luck. Dylan Ferrandis is just out there on this new Ducati, cruising around to 10th quietly. And Triumph's getting all the TV time because they're eating shit in the whoops and can't fucking stay on 2 weeks.
Well, like Forkner still hasn't came back either. Like he's
Yeah.
still out and not really much going on with him. And then
Their 250 guys aren't
Swall,
doing great. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, no
Swall
matter where
has a
you look.
DNF, and then Jordan
They
Smith
literally get
basically.
nothing going on that
Yeah.
Yeah,
Triumph.
exactly.
And then I think Anderson, I mean Suzuki. Oh my God, what are you gonna put a fucking electric start on these
Do
bikes? This
some
is
dude.
back
That
to
guy's
back
had
weeks.
so much time on air kicking that fucking thing over,
Dude,
dude.
Now I do want to circle back. I believe in our preview show I said that Anderson's going to have at least one DNF from not being able to kickstart that bike. We
I
have to go
think he
back and check
did.
the
he
tapes, but I
probably did. Yeah.
specifically said
Well, I
he's going to get a
remember.
DNF just by that not wanting to kickstart that bike, and
Yeah,
that's
dude, his leg was
exactly what
probably
we
so
fucking
fucking
got.
tired, dude.
Dude, at
Well,
the
he
end of
needs to
kicking a
stop
bike
hitting the
over too,
ground so he doesn't have to kickstart that damn thing.
you guys ever had to
But
kick a bike over mid-moto? That shit sucks.
yeah, I used to
Yeah.
have a
Probably can't
Suzuki.
fucking breathe, dude.
Thank God
Yeah.
125s and two strokes are easy to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. So Tomac, he ends up getting the second. I mean, he really kind of bulldozed those guys. I mean, he
Dude,
got
his
Roxon
his
and
first
Webb,
lap,
back to back. Yeah,
his
he was
first
like I
lap,
said,
he
he
was
was
like
like 11th or
11.
something. Yep.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's what worries me about the Tomac compared to the Hunter is that Tomac starts has still been hit and miss, and Hunter has been fairly consistent top five starter, every single week. So I mean, yeah, but I mean, he's riding aggressive. He punted Webb basically out of that corner, pushed him around. Roxon really kind of dropped like a rock. Sounds like maybe he's been sick lately, but
Yeah, he lost some
I mean,
steam after that battle with Hunter for sure.
Well, I feel
yeah,
like Roxanne does that all the time, though. Like this
He
part of the
starts out
season,
sprinting, and then just kind of
he's
falls
once
off.
he
He
gets
gets
he's
fast,
great.
he
tired.
just says fuck it.
Yeah, and whatever,
Well,
fuck
just
it.
like in the season, like I mean, he always starts great the first 5 to 6 rounds, and it seems like if he does survive, until now, he'll get a great start, but then he just fades off. I mean, I don't know if he's training too hard or what, and not taking enough off days, but it just seems like he's just worn out by the time it comes to, the 15-minute mark.
Yeah. And looking at these lap times, I mean, going back to Sexton, he had out of the top 8 guys, he had the 8th fastest time.
Yeah, he didn't even
Savachi,
hit a
AP,
48.
J. Coop were all ahead of him. But yeah, J. Coop, Roxon, Webb, Eli, and Hunter were all in the 48. So, I mean, Sexton's still damn near second off these guys when it comes to the main. So he's got a long ways to go. Sure, it's a sixth place, but it's a sixth place that's 30 seconds back. He's not even in the realm of these guys.
Sexton was
Um,
17 through that whoop section in times.
yeah, that's brutal. All right. Anything else before we get into the good, bad, and ugly of this 450 class? All right.
That's it.
All right. Let's go ahead and get it jumped off. Starting off with the good. Justin, who was your good performance of the night?
We're gonna go with Hunter. Like I said, first win, good for him. It's about time. He's been really consistent this year. And for him just, kind of stay locked in on Kenny after his bonehead mistakes last week. I mean, that cost him, a couple positions, and some key points. He kind of just stayed in there kind of patiently and when it was time, he made the move, didn't push it too hard. That caused, him to crash or anyone else to crash. So good for Hunter, and it's showing that he learned from last week's mistakes.
Yeah, I'm with you. I got Hunter as well.
Yeah.
I think this was an impressive win. He had to come through the pack a little bit. He had to hold off Tomac. He even ran into some lap traffic with Jordan Smith getting in his way through the whoop. So, I mean, just really consistent lap after lap. Hunter looked great, and I'm excited to see him kind of get this confidence and momentum going forward because I really think he's gonna be a problem in this championship as long as he stays on 2 wheels. James, who you got?
Yeah. Hunter as well, man. He hit all his marks, won that straight up. You know, he didn't get a gimme anyone going down or anything crazy like that. You know, came through the pack. Eric, you already touched on everything he did, but he won that straight up fair and square, and you know he looked good, so Hunter gets it. Ride red.
All right, let's go into the bad performance of the night. I gave it to Jordan Smith. He didn't get my ugly because it is his 450 debut, and that track was nasty. He was making the best guys really struggle. But I give my bad to Jordan Smith. That 450 move really doesn't look like it was the right direction. But James, back to you. Who you got for your bad performance?
There's quite a few bads that I'd pick from, but I'm going Webb, dude. You know, he kind of
Okay,
just
yeah,
let another one go. He let Tomac punk him and push him off the track, you know, literally into
yep.
the car or not the cardboard, the plywood, with a couple to go. Or so yeah, you know, just kind of happened to him again. He had it in his hands and lost it.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good pick too. I already touched up on Webb. You know, the second or third race that he's could have won that let him slip through his fingers. So yeah, I like that pick. Justin, who you got for the bad?
Bad. I'm gonna go with Chase Sexton. Um, I mean, just can't figure it out. It's just another bad ride. Another 15th place start or wherever he was again. He
No,
just
he
can't
didn't hit the
figure it
ground
out.
this time or the gate,
Nope.
so making
Yeah,
Just
progress.
fucking
just a bad ride.
just a
Yeah,
fucking bike, dude. But yeah, just a bad ride, like you said. I mean, you can't be doing this. I mean, being a previous champ. I mean, he was 15th to 6th, but that's not good enough when all these other guys are, within a second for 20 minutes of the moto, the whole top four.
exactly. I mean, Sexton is good enough to beat that group of guys even on a bike that he hates, but
And he's done it.
typically you'd see him catch up to at least Jay Cooper, throw his name in the hat. Because I mean, those top four guys were battling back and forth, making a lot of passes, so they're holding each other up, and Sexton still couldn't make any ground on them.
Yeah, Jay Coop
Um,
was 12 seconds ahead of, Sexton. I mean,
yeah,
even Jay Coop was only 3 seconds behind Roxon. I mean, he was kind of
yeah,
tailing everyone too as
Yeah.
well. I mean, that could have
yeah,
been a person for a good ride as well. I didn't even think about that.
yeah, and that just shows how far off Sexton really is. Sure, it's a top five. He's professional, yada yada yada. Yeah, I get it, but this guy also won what 7, 8 races last year. Like
Last year.
he's got way more capability than what we're seeing now. So you can't just say, "Oh yeah, he's fifth place," because that's not where he wants to be. All right, ugly performance. This one was pretty easy for me. I'm going to call it out every time it happens. But Team Fried ends up frying probably his spark plug and can't get that fucking thing started. And the 21 gets 21st, and the struggles continue with Anderson and this fall off. And my no podium bet is now at a $99.01 payout option for
Oh,
Hinkle. So if he wants to take advantage of it and save him, 99 cents offers on the table. But James, over to you. Who you got for your ugly
no,
performance of the night?
I'm going Jason Anderson as well, dude. On the ground twice. He spent more time kicking that bike over the last 2 weeks than actually fucking riding, probably. Justin, what did the bottom of your shirt say for Team
More
Fried?
kicks than laps
It's a
completed by
Fried. Don't
Don't
Anderson.
expect much.
don't
Yeah.
expect
Okay,
too
so
much. Yeah, it's
I'm not
perfect for
expecting
him,
too
dude.
much out of Jason Anderson, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jason Anderson, you touched on it, just poor performance.
I think he logged more kicks on that Kickstarter than he actually did laps in the main event.
100%.
Oh yeah.
Justin, who you got for your ugly?
Jason Anderson. That's why I wore the fucking shirt. Fried. Don't
Yeah.
I should
expect
have
too
threw my
much.
Fried shirt on.
Yeah, dude. Just like, come on, man. I mean, but also, I mean, he looked great during the heat race. I mean, I thought he was going to win the heat race. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, just bad luck in the main event. But I mean, yeah, the kickstarting of the bike, that's just embarrassing. I mean, you're so pissed off. He hasn't kicked a bike in what, 8 years, and now he's doing it, and he's just watching everyone blitz the woods right by him, and he's just in the middle of the fucking track. And
Yeah.
like, I was expecting
Fucking
him
looking
just
like
to
a
fucking,
traffic cone.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
fucking
for real.
caution sign. But yeah, I was honestly honestly expecting him just to drop the fucking bike right there and just walk right
Yeah.
off, dude. Just
I
leave
would
him
Oh
have
in the
been
yeah.
middle of the fucking
JF
track.
asked him to leave that fucking thing there, dude.
He's gonna do
Yeah.
an Antonio Brown and take off his jersey and start spraying and throwing it around his head.
Fucking
Yo.
yeah, throw his helmet into the crowd and shit. But
Yeah.
he all
Yep.
pulls
No,
he
yeah, I
all
could.
yanks the Kickstarter off the Suzuki and throws it into the fucking crowd.
Yep. Yeah. Props
But
for him to sticking it out. I think you could have also gone with Marchbanks, but Marchbanks was actually putting in a pretty good ride before he went down.
mhm.
Um, to be
I mean, Jordan
honest,
Smith would be ugly too.
I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised if Jordan Smith has a very similar 450 first year as we're seeing Marchbanks. Can put in some rides here and there, but I think the tracks
He's
just get
still
too
gonna hit
gnarly
the
for these
ground.
guys that, yeah, they're going to hit the ground and they're not going to be able to keep it on two wheels because of how gnarly it gets.
Well, I think he
Um,
even said, and I think Pope was interviewing, or someone was doing an interview, maybe Racer X, and he's like, "It's gnarly out there." He's like, "They are way faster."
yeah,
So I mean, I think even he's like, "Fuck, dude, I'm not ready for this."
Yeah.
yep,
Little wake up call.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, absolutely. All right, well, that's it for Arlington. Let's go ahead and look ahead. It's Daytona week. Couple of
All
headlines. The
right.
track is always awesome at Daytona. I think they go across the start straight like 3 or 4 times. It's another right-handed turn. Lots of obstacles, all throughout this track. SMX next is returns, but we're not going to have, the top names. Dudney, he won't be there. It sounds like Manier maybe is on the sign-up sheet, so he has a good chance. Um, Aiden Kiefer looks like he's going to make his debut Nick Way. But Justin, we'll start off with you. You said might get some rain, but what are you looking into the most? Heading into Daytona.
I think just a parody. I think what is gonna happen, 450 class, I think it's wide open, honestly. I mean, you could throw 5, 6 names that could win
Yeah.
this race this weekend and not be surprised if any of them win. And then 250, I think the storyline is can Pierce go back to back? Also
Mm-hmm.
Davies and Hammaker, you kind of got to step up and this might be one you need to win. I think
Yeah.
Davies isn't as much of a concern because of how fast he was. So if he gets like a second or third, I mean, yeah, it's not a win, but I mean, Davies proves you can be consistent with that speed. Like Hammaker had no flash this weekend. Barely anyone talked about him. I think that's more of a concern. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got for, at least coming up.
Yeah, no, James, talking about Davies, we haven't seen him ride outdoors. Everything that I've heard is that he's a much better supercross rider than outdoors.
Hmm.
We all know Daytona kind of leans more outdoorsy. So this will really kind of give us our first look at Davies in an outdoor style track. So I mean, who knows what we're gonna get? Maybe that skill gap we will see, and maybe he ends up being off the podium, or maybe he goes out there and shreds. We'll definitely take a look and keep an eye on that. But what are you looking forward to heading into Daytona?
Dude, I love Daytona. This track looks gnarly. There's always got good like split lanes with I can kind of I'm looking at the map now. There's different like inside line has a different roller than the outside line in some of these 180 turns. These rollers look like they're super spread apart, so you're not gonna be see any quads this week. Two sand sections. I'm curious. They have two triples. I wonder if they'll keep them as triples or they're gonna go to big
Doubles.
doubles. I'm sure they'll
Yeah,
go doubles if as we've seen the last few weeks, but like Justin said, 450, it looks like it's gonna be a fast track. They're gonna be flying, dude. And then the jumps are always big at Daytona, and it's always a great race. So looking
Did you
forward to it.
see did you see that picture I sent of the whoop section? They're
Yeah, dude.
big.
yeah, they look
Dude, they're
huge.
Everything is
I
huge.
dude, I thought that was like a rhythm section at first. I was like,
Yeah,
what are these just random singles at first? I'm like, fuck, dude, those are the
And
what?
aren't they right after that left hand? It's a
Yeah, at the
pretty
very
big
end.
like 180. So those guys are gonna
yeah.
fucking
And it's a
rail that
split
berm.
lane. It's an
Oh,
inside
is it?
outside berm,
Inside,
yeah.
outside. Yeah,
Oh,
well, a
so the
couple of those
jumpers are
inside,
gonna go
outside
the inside,
Yeah.
and
berms.
And then
the
and then they have
skimmer's gonna
that
go outside.
yeah, they have that one section how they always do like one side's raised and lower and
Oh
they
yeah, yeah,
they go
Yeah,
opposite.
yeah,
That's like right after the start it looks like.
yeah.
And then it looks like,
yeah,
there's a big off camber. It looks like how they normally have in there kind of over by the start area. It's gonna
Yeah,
be interesting though. I wish we could have a good roller section so we can get another remake of Tomax video from like
that
2015 where he
goes
just
just flying
wheelie.
around all over the place right now.
Dude,
Wow.
yeah. And I saw someone put that in the Freebird for the hockey game, dude. It was in one of
Yeah.
the memes. I was like, hell yeah.
Well, all right. Well, let's get into our picks. 250, 450. Justin, we'll start off with you.
Ooh,
Who you got for Daytona this weekend?
Daytona. Honestly, I think I'm gonna go with Pierce to go back to back if it stays dry.
Okay.
I
Well, all right.
think I think Pierce is pretty good outdoors, and I think this is, the hybrid, and he was really fast, at Arlington. And I just think maybe he's going to carry this confidence, and go back to back.
So why not Davies?
I don't know. I just with the outdoors, you never know. It's always going to be a weirdo track, so I could see him making another mistake or something, tucking a front or something. I think he gets a
Yeah.
podium for sure. But I just think maybe the conditions, something weirdo.
Yeah. And it'll be his first time. Obviously, he did 250
Yeah.
West Coast last year. So this is the
Yeah.
first time racing Daytona. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of elements, the lighting and things like that. But all right, James, who you got for your Daytona picks?
I'm going Shimoda 250 with the success he had in SMX last year, and he's looked decent outdoor, and with the speed he had last week, I think Honda's pissed off right now, and they're going to want that win. So I'm going with Shimoda.
Okay. And then
I'm worried
450.
about him.
450, Tomac's the king of Daytona, dude. I know I picked Webb last year with his history, or last week at his history at Arlington, but I don't know. I don't think Tomac's going to get it done. I'm going Hunter Lawrence, dude. I think he's going to pull that momentum. He's a good outdoor rider. I think Hunter's going back to back.
All right. And yeah, kind of going back to Joe Shimoda, Justin, I'm with you. I mean, Daytona is going to show us where Shimoda's stamina is at. I mean, this track is long, it's brutal. He said in the interviews this week that his stamina isn't there, and this is going to be a true test to show like where exactly he is at. So
And how
yeah, Justin,
comfortable
I don't
is
know.
he? I think that's
Yeah,
huge. I mean, it's gonna, how everything's built weird there. It's not a spec, supercross track.
Yeah.
yeah,
So, is that gonna get in his head? Because I mean, with the way qualifying was this week, you had to have known that that was just not being comfortable and just getting all those butterflies out. Now he goes to a
yeah,
completely 180 different type of track and is racing again. So,
yeah.
like you said, I don't think he's got the stamina, and I just don't know. I don't think he's gonna be able to do it.
You
All
guys
right,
will
and
see.
Justin, did we get your 450 pick?
No, it didn't. I'm gonna go with the Shark. I think Tomac needs to win this. This is huge.
Okay.
RC used to say all the time the championship starts in Daytona, so this is huge for him to get a win. I mean, Hunter's got the momentum, and you got to stop that. And does Tomac go back to a scoot tire with it being Daytona?
I
Do we
think
see
so.
would we
I
see
would think
Tomac back on
so.
the
I think
scoot?
every single one of them is going to
Tomac
be on the
back on,
Yeah.
scoop.
yeah, you gotta.
Yeah, I think
So.
everyone will be on, especially with both sand and then the
Mm-hmm.
grass. They use the grass a lot too on this
Yeah.
Yeah.
track too. So I think everyone's going to be running a scoop
Mm-hmm.
out there for sure. All right. Well, I'm going to go 250s. I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to go with Seth Hamaker. He went second place in all three SMX rounds. I think he's got a fire lit under him after Arlington. I thought that was kind of a mediocre ride for him. I think he's going to come out swinging. And yeah, I got Hamaker to get the win at Daytona. And then 450s, I'm with James. I'm going to go with Hunter. I think Hunter is going to go back to back. He's going to have outdoor speed that we've seen SMX. He looked great
Honda,
as
baby.
well. His starts have been, pretty dialed as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Hunter for the Daytona win. And I don't know, this might be kind of the change in tides to where if Tomac doesn't win at Daytona, I don't know if he's gonna get this title. I think I don't know. I think this is gonna
It's a
tell us a
big
lot about
it's a
what's gonna
big
happen.
week.
It's
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
it's big. I mean, but yeah,
Yeah.
Hunter, like you guys said, I mean, I could see Hunter winning no problem. But I mean, just
Yeah,
had to pick
remember
Tomac.
last year, Roxon ended up
Broxton won.
winning
Yeah,
Daytona.
Yeah.
Tomac was out, Jet was out, but a lot of these same guys were still in there too. So
yeah.
yeah,
Sexton was
it's
fast
definitely going
then.
to be interesting. Yep, yep, exactly. So yeah, I think a lot can happen at Daytona, but I think Hunter might be a little too much for these guys.
I mean, shit,
Well,
Justin
all right.
Brayton won.
Yeah, right. Well, all right, boys. What else? Anything else before we wrap up?
Do you think Swole gets a top 10 this week, or do you think he dies again?
Is he even
I
racing?
got Swole going down again if he's
Yeah, me
racing.
too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I
Like I
don't
don't really even know
know.
if he's going to be out there.
Oh, hey, we didn't talk about SMX at all. The futures.
SMX next. Well, we touched up on it how
Yeah.
Dudney's going to be out. If
Who you
Benir's
got to
racing,
win
I think
that?
he's going to be the clear. It just depends on if Benir's actually racing or not.
Yeah.
Um, I think he's probably going to run away with it. But yeah, I don't know, man. This is going to be another track. I think it's going to eat these kids up.
Yeah,
Uh,
This track's going to be
this is a
gnarly.
long one.
yeah.
And
How
I
do you
haven't
think Will
looked at their
Kiefer does?
placement. Like, where's their placement going to be after the heats again?
And normally, I think that's what it is, right? That's
Yeah,
Yeah,
normally
I'm
for
how
sure
they.
it'll just
Kiefer,
follow the standard.
yeah, for Kiefer Austin, I don't really have very much expectations for him. This is his first SMX next round. I know he's been off injury, so I mean, I really don't have any expectations for him. I mean, I would kind of think that he would at least be a podium guy, just compared to the
Mm-hmm.
other guys that are out there. But also, not really sure, what to expect from him. We're able to find the schedule.
That's what I'm trying to find. I can't.
My
See
guess
if
is
I
it's
can
probably
find
the
it.
same as it always has been right after the Heat 2s. They might just go in there and do a little bit more track prep, though.
Yeah, that's what I would be thinking too.
Which it does seem like they've done more track prep for the 450 main event. Like I noticed that in
Yeah,
Arlington, there's a
it's
pretty good
after the. I'm looking
intermission.
at it right now. It's after the heats.
Yeah, okay, so same as
Okay.
before. All right. All right. Well, that wraps up this episode. Thank you for listening. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and on X. But we will be back next week to talk about Daytona. And I think we have an off week coming up soon. Isn't it after Daytona, or I thought it's maybe not. Maybe it's just in a few weeks after the first couple East Coast rounds. But I thought we have a break coming up sometime soon. And
We
then we're
have a
going to have a
break
East West shootout.
after Indy, so
After
after
Indy,
after
yeah, so
next
two
week,
weeks.
and then we go, yeah,
Okay.
right. So yeah, we got a Triple Crown at Indy. Ooh, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be
That's next
rough.
weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the 7th, and then they have a week off. They go to Birmingham, and that's an East-West shootout.
Dang. All right. So
Oh
yeah,
wow, you got a
an
lot
off
coming
week
up.
before the East West shootout. That's gonna be
Well,
sick.
and then for Birmingham, so you got that East-West shootout, and then you do a regular 250 East. They're back
And
into
then
another
another
shootout.
shootout at St.
St.
Louis. Wow.
Louis, and
Oh
then they
yeah.
have a regular Nashville, and then they do a Triple Crown for East Coast. So yeah,
So
there's a
East
lot.
Coast is
These,
gonna have two triple crowns because you said that next week is a triple crown
yeah,
too.
yep,
Yeah,
Triple Crown Indy, Triple Crown Cleveland,
They need to make
and
the
then
shootouts triple crowns.
that's what I'm saying.
that
Yeah,
would
Period.
be sick. At
100%.
least one of them.
Top, because then you just got top 10 guys from each coast. You do
Yeah.
two
Which I
qualifying
mean
sessions.
I get it. Like it's also cool when they do the East West shootout and they have Heat 1 is 250 East, Heat 2 is 250 West, and then they
Hmm.
meet. I guess that's cool too, but I think at least one of those triple crowns, instead of one
Yeah,
coast getting
I
two,
mean,
just make it a
you,
shootout and then it's fair across the
just
board. Each of
you
them
can
gets
just
two.
you can just do like they always used to do three qualifying. So for Triple Crown, just do two qualifyings, in the a little bit earlier, like so when free practice was, push it up, and then just do a heat, and qualifying on race day live, a 250 West, 250 East. Then you have an LCQ, at the normal time, and then you can go into your night show. Your heats would be your heat or your second qualifying session.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, interesting. Got a little change of schedule, but we'll be looking ahead to Daytona. But that's all we got. We will see you next week. Talk to you later.